Come in, Gary, come in. Gary, you're a welcome sight. The last guy who was in here, well, let's just say that it is very lucky the dish of caviar that I hurled at him did not strike its intended target. The point is, he will never work in this town again, his wife will be receiving a threatening phone call, and I had his car towed for good measure. What have you got for me today?
It's called Thunderpants.
Thunderpants, I love it. It's a powerful name, Gary, powerful. Would you care for some caviar?
Born with two stomachs,
Yes.
Patrick Smash
I'm listening.
is uncontrollably
Proceed.
and devastatingly
Go on.
flatulent.
Damn it, Gary!
No more than 30 seconds after his birth, he first broke wind, horrifying his parents and doctor.
And yet, had you told his parents at that moment that their son might grow up to one day impugn the miracle of life by peddling filth of the magnitude of what I have just heard, they may have counted their blessings. Powerful flatulence, you say, Doc? Never mind that. Let me hold my little miracle closer, as I thank God in heaven above that he won't grow up to be Gary!
As he grew up, his gassy emissions became so uncontrollable and destructive that his father had to flee their home, as he was often injured by the power of his son's powerful farts, a force so strong that it can blow people over, and curtains open in one mere release.
A family torn apart, a marriage ruined, a broken man forced to flee, not only from his wife and son, but from his dignity. What is his state of mind as he turns his back on the life he once knew? Does he raise his fist toward the heavens and curse the God he once worshipped? The God whose guidance had proven so comforting during the earlier trials of his life? Does the thought of suicide start as a faint inkling, yet grow sturdier, more omnipresent, yea, inevitable, with the passing hours of the day? We do not know the answer to these questions, but thank you, Gary, for addressing the inquiry everyone was no doubt asking as they heard about this tragic series of events. Were the farts powerful enough to blow the curtains open?
Patrick's unfortunate affliction left him to be a target for bullies.
Well, bullying is a serious issue, and it's yet to be addressed by Hollywood in a meaningful way.
One incident at his school left him particularly humiliated.
If this movie were to become an advocate for bullied children, there's no telling what kind of an impact it could have. Gary, if you'll indulge me, I'd like to slowly pronounce the name of the award I think this movie could win, pausing to savor our inevitable triumph in between each syllable. Os!
An important visitor was addressing the school during assembly, and Patrick fought to control his flatulence, but he could not. He passed gas loudly, polluting the hall and disgracing the school.
For f***'s sake!
However, while he is physically weak, Patrick finds strength in his disorder and eventually seeks revenge on the school bully Damon by passing gas in his face, leaving the bully scarred for life.
Though I hesitate to disgrace the term by applying it to the swill you've shown up to shovel onto my desk this afternoon, Gary, you are technically describing a family film. Traditionally a genre with values, a strict moral code, the eventual rewarding of right, and the punishing of wrongdoing. And yet, in your twisted cosmology, Damon, who has rightfully singled out his freakish classmate as someone who has no right intermingling with the decent, hardworking members of society, ends up scarred for life after Nature's abomination passes gas in his face. I'll admit, I was shaken after Bambi's mom got shot, but it made me a stronger man. But Lord knows where I'd be if the hunter had walked up, shot Bambi's mom, ground her into sausage in front of him, then farted in Thumper's face. Oh, I know where I'd be. I'd be sitting in the chair facing my desk, pitching garbage to a powerful man, and flinching with the knowledge that at any moment a caviar dish would come sailing towards my skull at a devastatingly high velocity.
Patrick's only friend is child prodigy Alan A. Allen, Rupert Grint, who has anosmia and therefore a resilience to Patrick's condition.
For the fighting kid's best friend, we've landed someone from Harry Potter, I'll tell the investors. Daniel Radcliffe, they'll say? No, I'm afraid not. Emma Watson? She was unavailable. Alan Rickman? David Thewlis? Robbie Coltrane? No, no, and no. The kid that plays Draco? Sure, we could see him taking a comedic role. Sadly, not Draco. Neville? Dudley? Unfortunately, they're all committed to other projects. One of the twins? They'll inquire nervously, finally beginning to sense the inevitable revelation they've been fearing all along. The twins are a package deal. They don't do individual roles, I'll say. The beads of sweat will start to appear on their foreheads. Downward graphs of fourth quarter profits will start to float in front of their eyes. Involuntarily, they'll flick a glance at a nearby window and mentally calculate if the force of hurling themselves at it would be enough to cause it to give way, allowing the ruined failure of a body to plummet to the cold, harsh parking lot below. They'll barely manage to eke out the whispered name, Ron? And I'll say, Yes, investors! I hope you like mugging of the most shameless sort, because the kid who plays Ron Weasley, loathed buffoon of the Harry Potter series, is on board!
Alan and Patrick team up, using Alan's intelligence and Patrick's lifelong dream of being an astronaut, to make Thunderpants, a spacesuit strong enough to contain Patrick's emissions.
I will be upfront with you, Gary. If you're intending, and I fear you are, for the phrase, "in space, no one can hear you fart," to appear anywhere in the script, merchandise, or marketing materials for this film, you will long for the dignity and grace that the victims of the 1950s blacklisting were treated with.
Suddenly, Patrick learns that Alan went to America with the government to assist astronauts who are trapped in outer space, and Patrick finds that his condition may be of use to the spacemen in peril.
Yes? Oh, you're done, Gary. Despite that sentence ending nowhere near a conclusion of any sort. Probably all for the best, as I can only imagine the grim, joyless scenario when the spacemen in peril are alerted to their government solution of sending a flatulent teen wearing pants designed by Ron Weasley to rescue them. As one recites John Gillespie McGee Jr.'s High Flight, another hums the Beatles' My Life, and gazes for one last time at the picture of his wife and children, as the third member of their crew sets a course leading them directly into the sun, and as they slip the surly bonds of Earth and are incinerated, their last thoughts are to curse the government that betrayed them, the God that created such a cruel world, and most importantly, the sick bastard who created this screenplay, who, if he doesn't want to regain consciousness in an hour with $2,000 worth of caviar in his hair, had better get the hell out of my office!